6th. A very good morning to all of you. I hope all my kids are doing fine and healthy at their home or at their place. So, class 6th, in our yesterday's session, we have started with new and yet interesting thing that is called financial education, and we have learned about a new system called barter system. We have also discussed the meaning of financial education and how it is important to us. So now in our today's topic we will be discussing about evolution of money. How does evolution of money take place and what is the benefits of having proper money? So we will be discussing this in our today's session. And class, do not forget to do the work of financial education in your history notebook, and there will be one MCQ exam of this financial education in which you will get a certificate. So please make sure to read the PDFs and submit the work on time. So now let's begin with the session. So class, money as we know today is the end product of a long process. So the money today which we get, it is not very easily that we get. We work hard day and night to get money. Now talking about the beginning. So if we go back to the centuries, in the beginning there was no money. People engaged in barter system. So during the 6th century there was no money. People did not have money. They were usually busy in the barter system which we have studied. People engaged in barter and it was a moneyless economy. So since there was no money, so the economy was moneyless. If we compare in our today's economy, we have economy which is full of money, because in today's time we won't see that anyone is changing any types of goods and services. We will see that there is exchange of money, and because there is money involved in our economy, so today we have a moneyful economy. And we have also learned about the barter system which has various problems. We have learned about the problems that were there in the barter system. Now talking about the direct exchange of one commodity. We have learned the meaning of commodity, and we have also learned that there was a direct exchange of one commodity from another requires direct satisfaction of both the parties. Now see class, unless and until you won't have a satisfaction, you won't change a thing. Let me explain with the help of an example. For example class, a man might want to exchange one cow for two goats. Now suppose a man wants to exchange his cow for two goats, but it is not important, it is necessarily that a person who owns the cow should find a man who wants to exchange. So what is the first thing that is required? The first thing that is required here, that a person should have the cow and he wants to exchange his goats. Suppose a man wants to exchange his cow and he wants in return goat. So what is the first thing he is looking for? A person who is ready to exchange his goats in return of cow. So if there will be no person, then he will not be able to exchange it. So this is the first condition that is required. Now class, all the goods which are to be exchanged are not necessarily of the same value. So suppose the cow has a greater value than goods. So whatever the goods that is being exchanged does not necessarily have the same value. Sometimes the another thing has a good values. For example, the man is ready to change his cow in return of the goats. We know the value of cows are greater than the value of goats. So we can see that the goods that is not necessarily of the same value, they might be greater or they might be less. So in this case, goods which are individual, there would be a different value for different goods. So now the value of goat is different, as well as if we see the value of the cow. So you can see that there is a commodities and the values varies from varies. So the goat has higher value, or the hen has a higher value, or the cow has a higher value. So we can see that there is a difference of value of different things. So now the next thing, class, if the owner of the cow wants to purchase a hen, then it would not be possible for him to give a small part of the cow to the owner of the hen. So now the owner of a cow has changed his mind, and he's like, I don't want to go for goats, I want to go for a hen. But do you really think that it is possible for the owner of the cow to give the small parts to the owner of the hen? The answer will be no, because where will the person will store the parts of the cow? We know that we can't store for the long duration the parts of the cow, and it will become perishable, like it will become decay, and it will just become like fish, or you can say like another items which cannot be stored for a longer period of time, and it will be waste at the end of the day. So this is the thing, this is the problem that people are facing. They wanted a direct satisfaction, and for that they are looking it. Unless and until they are not getting the direct satisfaction, they won't exchange their commodity, because they want things of the greater value, or you can say of direct satisfaction. And class, every commodity has greater value or less value. Okay, and now talking about class, exchange of good was not free from difficulties. So we have seen that if somebody has to exchange the goods, it is not really easy, as we have seen in the case of goat and hen, and we have seen with the case of goat as well as of cow. So you can see that the buyer as well as the seller has to face many difficulties in order to exchange their commodities, or you can say exchange their goods. Therefore, the need for money arose. So during that time, people wanted something that should be common for all. Now we all know that metal was discovered, and since there was a discovery of metal, it began to be used as money. Now there was a discovery of metal, and since then it was used as money. In the 6th century BC, the first coins resembling the current ones appeared. In today's time, we all have the coins. So if we go back to 6th century, the first coin was there, and it just looked like the current coin which we all are using. There were small metal pieces with fixed weight and value, bearing an official seal with the mark of the government who has minted them, and also a guarantee of their value. So now they are telling us that the coins were of small metal pieces. If we see a coin, it is a piece of metal, and the weight of the coin is fixed. Whether you take 1 rupee coin, 5 rupee coin, or 10 rupee coin, you can see the weight of the coins are fixed. Furthermore, class, they have an official seal. Whenever we see a coin, we can see that there is an official mark. Seal means a mark of their value. When we see a 1 rupee coin, we can see 1 rupee there. When we see a 5 rupee coin, we can see 5 rupee there. Similarly with 10 rupee. So we can see that there is an official mark, and it is done by the government who make these coins, and they also guarantee us of the same value. The 1 rupee coin which we are having has the same value of 1 rupee, similarly of 5 rupees, and as well as of 10 rupees. Now discussing about the history of the coins. So class, the first metal coin was used of gold and silver. So the first coins that were used were made up of your gold and silver, and it was during the modern period. All right, and now talking about the history. So we know that in the history period we have different ages, we have different periods. So it was during the modern period. The coins were made up of silver, gold, and copper, and they were used. Okay, so different types of metals were used to make the coins. It can be your silver, gold, as well as your copper. Talking about King Shesha Suri, he also issued a coin of silver, and the weight of that coin was 178 grams, and he termed those coins as rupiah. So we got to know from which person we got to this term called rupiah, and it was Shesha Suri, and he was the first one who named termed as rupiah and made of silver coin, and the weight of those coin was 178 grams. Now talking about the term rupiah, the term rupiah is derived from the Sanskrit word which means rupiah, and the meaning of rupiah is a coin of silver. Alright, we all have seen a 1 rupee coin, rupiah, and it is means as the coin of silver. Now if we talk about the Mughal period class, so we know about Mughal period, the silver coin remained used in Mughal period. So if we talk about the back to the history, the coin was also used by the Mughal period too, as well as the different periods, different kings that ruled India. It can be your Marathas, it can be your Mughals, it can be any other person. They all started using coins because they felt that usage of coin making things of equal value, and we have learned about the difficulties that the people face while with the exchange of the things. Now talking about what happened with the British East India Company. We all know that Britishers ruled us. So now how the concept of note currency was introduced. So if we go back to 200 years ago class, so there was the earliest issue of paper money. So if we go back to 200 years ago, so during the British rule, they issued money currency. Okay, and it was also called as rupee. Okay, so you can see that the Britishers, they started publishing paper money, the note of 20 or the note of 10, that was being started by the ideology of Britishers that they wanted to have a paper money. And later when India got freedom, in fact the Bank of Hindustan, okay, there was a one bank called Bank of Hindustan. Now we have so many banks: State Bank of India, Maharashtra Bank, Punjab National Bank. So during the old time, we was in fact talking about the Bank of Hindustan. So now we have so much of banks. We have State Bank of India, we have Punjab and National Bank. So if we go back to the old times, there were hardly some banks. So there was one bank called Bank of Hindustan that was there from 1770 till 1832. The name of the bank was there till 1770 and 1832. So that bank also started using the currency of paper note. All right, now class, we know that we got independence in 1947 and new government was formed, new countries were formed, and what is happening, but one thing was common, was your paper money. Okay, after the independence, or in fact during the independence also, we had the paper currency. All right, and with the formation of Reserve Bank of India, which we call as RBI. So the full form of Reserve Bank of India was RBI, and the duty of this bank is to issue notes and coins on the behalf of the government of India. So whatever coins and notes today we are using, it is being issued by the Reserve Bank of India, that is RBI. And class, you know what, even after the partition of India and Pakistan, the Pakistan people, or you can say the Pakistan people, still uses the Indian rupees note, but the stamp is done by the Pakistan. Similarly, if we see the currency of India, currency means the money of India, the stamp is of Indian government. So similarly in Pakistan also, the currency is Indian rupee, but the stamp is done by the Pakistan. Similarly class, you can see that throughout the world we have different types of currency. For example, in US we use dollars. All right, so you can say that we have different currencies throughout the world. Some countries use dollars, some countries use yen. So different countries use different amount of currency, but we can see that the currency is being used throughout the world. Likewise, there the currency of India is rupee. All right, the currency of United States of America is dollar. Okay, if we talk about the British currency, it is pounds. So in India as well as the world, in our today's world, we use different types of currency. All right, so class, everyone, please make sure to read the chapter, do the exercises that is being shared with you, and submit the work on time. Thank you.